So this sinking raises questions about the safety of small boat charters, especially at a time of year where you might be going on a fishing or sightseeing tour. So let's bring in Bob Richardson. He's a maritime expert and the managing broker for the Vancouver Yacht Group. Rob, thank you very much for joining us. Based on what we've heard about this incident, very young captain, 8 passengers and 2 crew, no mayday from the boat, no flotation devices, what concerns does it raise for you?
Well, I think the one major concern for anybody going out is the inexperience that we see not only with this charter operator, but in general. We see it with pleasure boats. We see it especially once you're carrying passengers. There certainly should be a lot more due diligence in ensuring that people have the experience for local waters.
I think for a lot of people in Canada, like me, who aren't experts when it comes to what happens on the water, we go to a dock or wharf, and if we just assume that that a boat that's there, that's inviting paying customers aboard, is subject to regulations and is relatively safe. How true is that?
Well, in most cases, the boat isn't the issue. It's really the operator experience, and overloading is where we see 2 of the major issues. And if you combine that with conditions that people aren't ready for or don't understand local knowledge conditions, you can end up in some trouble pretty quickly. And you've got a lot of water coming out of the Fraser River, so you have local conditions that certainly catch people off guard. You have overloading with stability issues where most people go on a charter boat, they want to go up top, high, they want to see everything, they want to take pictures, and suddenly you're overloaded with a boat that has too much weight up high on it, and it becomes unstable.
Based on what you know about where this sinking happened, and I guess you have the waters of the ocean and the Fraser River kind of combining at that point, and given what you know about the weather, I think there was some wind, but certainly not a storm that day. Do you think the location or the weather was a cause here?
If it was the first thing I was looking at, I would say the local conditions combined with inexperience could very quickly lead to something like this. When you have an ebb tide, you have river flow, and you have some wind over that, you get waves that stack up that are very difficult to navigate in, and you get someone that maybe gets nervous and tries to turn around, and suddenly they're swallowed up by it.
So here's a key question, and I just think back, kind of shudder when I think back to taking my kids when they were little. My wife and I took them on a fishing charter on the East Coast, and then I think, did I do my due diligence? Did I just assume it was safe? What advice do you have for people who want to go on a boat, whether it's for sightseeing or fishing?
Well, I think one of the big things is talk to the operator, know their experience level, understand the boat. If you're getting on a boat and it feels like there's too many people, there probably is too many people. So certainly, these vessels are all licensed under what's called an under 15-ton rule that Transport Canada allows pleasure craft to become commercial craft. They're only supposed to have maximum 12, but again, that's based on the boat being able to handle 12. A 30-foot boat and a 45-foot boat can't necessarily handle the same number of people. If conditions are great, there's no problem. But when there's conditions that present an issue and now you need the power to come and turn around and suddenly you're overloaded, you don't have the power to do that.
This is, of course, a terrible tragedy. 7 people died. The captain, a very young man. When you look at what's happened here, you're part of the sort of maritime community. Kind of what are your general feelings?
Sickening feeling, and not surprised that it has happened. We have a number of charter operators that overload boats and go out, and it's surprising it hasn't happened sooner. This isn't just on a fishing charter. This is on day cruises that go out, and certainly there could be some more oversight and ensuring that people understand the rules. Sometimes there's a language barrier within it, certainly with VHF and understanding how to get a hold of people, but certainly an overall sickening feeling.
We got to go, but a lot of concerns here. But I guess why don't you reiterate the basic one? And I know the 2 people aboard the sailboat who saved the 3 lives. The most dismaying thing to them was that the 5 people they saw in the water did not have flotation devices on. And I assume that would be kind of advice number 1 you have for somebody getting on a boat.
That's number 1. Whether you're taking a picture, whether you're fishing and getting excited or leaning over, everybody should be wearing flotation. And I understand it's bulky, so operators can certainly get the inflatable ones that only inflate when they hit the water, but it gives you a fighting chance to stay afloat while someone comes to get you.
Bob Richardson, a maritime expert and managing broker for Vancouver Yacht Group. Thank you very much.
Thank you.